Last night was certainly eventful for Sunshine Coast Police, with this dramatic chase lasting around 2 hours and spanning several suburbs. It started in Wotala, where officers tried to intercept a vehicle. Police allege the driver took off at high speed. Polair was called in to help track the car to Nambour, and that's where the driver is accused of ramming a patrol car before taking off again.
There's been some damage, as you can see, sustained to the front end and some to the perhaps the steering mechanism of the vehicle.
Eventually, officers managed to deploy stingers and stop the vehicle. The dog squad then helped to catch the driver. He was bitten during a struggle with police before he was arrested.
Incidents like this, they're so unpredictable and they are dangerous. However, we try and do it in a manner where we try and mitigate the risk as much as we can. So in this instance, yeah, very good outcome.
The man police allege is behind all this is 36-year-old Gary Anthony Barker. He's in custody facing 18 charges. His legal representation didn't apply for his bail in court this morning, and the case was adjourned until next month. Father of three, Cameron Frewer, was a passionate cycling safety advocate, but on Monday his life was tragically cut short. The 44-year-old was riding along a Sunshine Coast road when a ute collided at high speed into the back of him. While the exact cause of the collision is still under investigation, Cameron's wife is making sure his death isn't in vain, and she now knows what to fight for, thanks to an open letter Cameron had penned days before his death. He intended to send it to authorities, detailing his frustrations over the enforcement of Queensland's safe passing laws for drivers.
When I first heard the first few minutes, I just couldn't imagine how I'm going to cope without him. They will have his final words, and it's just, I can't even process that it was such a short time ago he wrote that. He knew something needed to be done, and soon.
Catherine is now making it her mission to urge all drivers to abide by those laws, which include keeping a 1 metre distance when driving in a 60km/h or less zone, or a 1.5 metre distance if the speed limit is higher. A 33-year-old man was rock climbing with his family at Mount Nagungun in the Glasshouse Mountains this morning. Just before 11 o'clock, he slipped, falling around 15 metres. Now, when rescue crews arrived, they were able to reach this climber quite quickly, as he wasn't too far from the base of the mountain. Paramedics, police and firefighters carried him from the bush to a waiting ambulance.
He's come down and suffered what appears to be a significant head injury and some skeletal injuries also.
Then he was flown to a Brisbane hospital around 1 o'clock. So certainly a horrible end to the Easter long weekend for this 33-year-old man and his family. Sunshine Coast rail upgrade has been talked about for years, and the latest cash commitment to finally get it up and running comes from the federal government. It's putting up $390 million towards the congestion busting project between Beerburrum and Nambour, half of what's required to build it.
This is going to get commuters home sooner and safer. This is a fantastic project.
40-kilometre stretch of rail where $390 million will be injected, with the remainder coming from the state government.
But the state is unwilling to cough up half the cash. Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk telling Parliament today her government does want the project to progress, but the federal government should pay more.
I see this morning that the Prime Minister may be putting some money on a table, but it is not enough to build this line.
Enough, she says, would be more like Canberra footing 80% of the total bill from Beerburrum to Nambour, not 50.
Queensland is watching the #1 news hour.